Start the morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me. Good morning, welcome to the morning coffee show. Start the morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me. Good morning, welcome to the morning coffee show. Let's talk from in the shell and share good vibes and good times. Good friends and trends that bend the senses. Let's get a bit senseless. Welcome to the morning coffee show, where we bring good vibes and good times. Welcome to the morning coffee show with Super Fast Tortoise. Welcome to the morning coffee show, where we have the flow. Good vibes from head to toe. Let the happiness take you in.
Hey everybody, welcome to Super Fast Tortoise Show. Welcome.
Morning.
Good morning. You know, today is a good morning. I am tired. I had to wake up early for an appointment, like a physical appointment. Like, I got to wake up around 7 in the morning so I could be at this appointment around 8:30, get back in time, do the show, and ta-da, here I am. Good news.
Hey.
My kidneys are doing well.
Awesome. Well, I got up at 5 o'clock this morning.
Ooh, 5 o'clock.
Yep.
Yeah, that's if you ever slept. Well,
True.
we got TCG dude in chat. What's up? Kane, what's up? Whoa. Oh, he says my internet's working today, so I get to watch the show. Ooh,
Awesome.
Yesterday was a good show. I actually rewatched the show and enjoyed it. I watched it as a review episode, like someone else's channel, and I actually just enjoyed watching it. I enjoyed listening to it. It was great.
Cool.
You should have streamed yourself that your own show. That would have been funny.
Right. Real Wiz, what's up? What's cracking? So in the show today we got Hillbilly, KJ Cowboy Dan, and
Lone Wolf.
That's right. We're going crazy in here. We're gonna have fun here. We're gonna be amazing. And today we got a topic that I think is gonna be pretty good. The topic of the day is time for Commander to take a back seat. And no, this doesn't mean I'm quitting Commander. It doesn't mean it changes my love for Commander. It's my idea of how business should probably be handled with WotC. Because Commander has taken a forefront for a long time. And I think for the game to do well, they're going to want to focus on their standard events more in store games and whatnot. And I know the future that when Edge of Eternities come out, they're going to want to make Commander a legal format in Magic the Gathering, like legal for like tournaments.
Great.
It's great. And don't get me wrong, like I said, I love Commander. It's one of my favorite formats. Second to Limited. I love Limited. Yeah.
Yep.
Whoa. So, I was going to start the show with a song, but my brain's just too tired because there's a song called Take Back the Power, and I was like, I want to start the song saying, what's your plan for tomorrow? You gonna lead us? Or you gonna follow? And something like that.
Yeah.
I started to say, I never heard this song. I was going to ask you to sing it first.
Well, because Kane Chicken says, "Oh no, I didn't realize it's going to be a Torch and Pitchfork episode. It's not a Torch and Pitchfork episode." But hey, if you bring
Torch and Pitchforks. Hold on a second. Let me call the villagers. Get your pitchforks. Nobody told us.
The ogre's loose. The ogre's loose. Well, I hope you guys got your morning coffee. I hope you're ready for this. So, good morning, my creep. Hello, new peeps. Welcome to Super Fast Tortoise, and let's get down to business. Let's get down to business to defeat the Hun. All right. So, in the world today of Magic the Gathering, let me pull up my little monologue. Yep. It's time for Wizards to put more of a focus on our primary focal formats like Standard, Limited, and Modern. I think we need a backbone in the community where the core products for Standard and Limited and all that stuff sell for the formats they're made for. What? Commander is a good format and I love it, but I know Commander is not the only way to play. Standard needs more life into it in the game shops, and so does Modern. Limited needs more love, and other formats, etc. I would like to personally see more advertisement and a push for these other formats in the local game shop to be given more life. I'd love to see more of an effort to be put into keeping the game alive for the formats that this game was started for. I do note that Wizards of the Coast is making Commander a tournament style format in the works. It is set in the works, starting with Edge of Eternities. They're pushing for store level weekly events, starting with Edge of Eternities. Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? I mean, seriously, where? My head's chopped off. I'm like a chicken running around. Let's talk about it.
Well, one thing I know they're doing for Edge of Eternities, they are changing a little bit about the commander. They're making vehicles legal to be your commander now.
Oh yeah, that's one of the changes that they made for sure.
Yep.
So one of the things they talked about a while ago is starting with Edge of Eternities. They wanted to make a Commander a format in stores that you could legally track. Because right now, Commander is not tracked like a standard game, right? You know, bracketed. They want a 1v1 format of Commander in the stores to be legally tracked so people can compete, which is fine. Don't be wrong. I'm not opposed to it. I just think it's Magic in a way is losing its original identity by doing so. And I would like to see them push to keep their identity as what they originally for. Now, this might be old person me throwing my torch and pitchfork in the air and be like, I give up. This is too much. But no, I'm not giving up. I love Commander. I love Commander very much because Commander is like an extended limited format. Like, you know, it's singleton, you have fun, you have your Commander, whatever. But I'd love to see a push for the product to be what the product's for and used in Standard. And I think Final Fantasy is doing well with that. But there's a lot of Commander play. People are trying to break cards. And I think as I look at Edge of Eternities, I look at some of the spacecrafts, and some of the spacecraft have that mechanic where you tap a creature, put charge counters on it, and if it has so many card charge counters, it becomes a creature.
Mm-hmm.
Some of those charge counter levels are set so high that it's Commander only, basically.
Yeah, 12 on some of them.
20 on one.
Yeah.
Which I can see in green decks being good.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Green is really going to get some help. Right now, green is probably, well, before this last set, green was actually one of the weakest colors out there. But it's getting better for green, especially since they did the bans.
Kane Shaker says, are they losing their identity or are they following the trends they see in the current fan base? I think it's a little bit of both, and they're following a money trail.
Yep.
You know, don't me wrong, money's not evil in this aspect, but you know, if people keep buying the products for what they want, they're going to make products for the things people want. But at the same time, standard is getting revitalized, right? Slowly it's being revitalized. Tournaments are being revitalized. People are loving the tournament scene. People are loving the F&Ms. They're making F&M promos and stuff, but they don't advertise it well. And I want to see the standard stuff advertised well. Now, I personally don't play very much standard, and I don't get to, but I'd love to see more of a growth in this standard world, this limited world. I'd love to see like tournament drafts again. I'd love to see more of this go on. Like honestly, watching the tournament, last tournament of standard, Modern Red was the big win deck, a big deck win, whatever we want to call it, the big winner, basically. It was fine, but I kept watching the same thing. But I'd love to see limited pushed in those tournaments as a way to compete. I'd love to see modern, a little bit of modern in those, like day 1 standard, day 2 modern, day 3 draft. That would be awesome.
Yep.
And this is just my brain, just enjoying the idea of it.
Well, they have been trying to work on standard and revitalize it because standard used to be dead. Well, it's coming back to life a little bit.
Oh yeah, like Final
thing
Fantasy.
They do.
I think Final Fantasy really made a push for standard.
Oh yeah,
Definitely. People getting in and trying it out. But like one thing I've been noticing on Facebook groups and some YouTube comments and different videos is people are really pushing for non-commander formats. Like I remember one time we were streaming a commander game and this guy was in the game, so I bet you just play commander.
Yeah. I bet you there are automotive fanatics who accidentally clicked into this channel who's very upset at this moment because they just realized that you're not talking about a standard transmission vehicle. And a lot of automotive fans are like, standards coming back? What we're getting standards back? I get to drive a stick shift again, and they're talking about cards. Never mind.
Game Checker says, so maybe the trends are just the early stage of making changes again and people are reverting back to standard and modern. Yeah, like I think that's what it is, and I think Wizards is having a hard time making that transition to keep following up. Like it's like when your kid's young, right? Your kid's a teenager and they want that Nickelback CD, right? They want the Nickelback album, and then you finally buy it for them. Like, oh, now I want My Chemical Romance. And you're like, kid, make up your mind on the genre you want. And I think that's kind of how Wizards feels with everybody like having different opinions about it. Ryan Nowicki, what's up?
What's up, Ryan?
Says my group likes to mix it up with format variants like 2-headed giant, plain chase EDH, or Pauper Commander, and everyone uses arch enemy decks, which we all call Tiny Villain Rumble. Nice. Yeah, It's always fun to mix it up. It is. Like, what really pushed this idea, and it's going to sound weird, is Monday, me and the wife played some Disney's Lorcana.
Oh.
Right? And Lorcana is like a standard format. It's very different because everything's like sorcery speed in that game. You can only play stuff on your turn. Unless they added cards we don't know about. But yeah, everything's done on your turn. Everything you can do is on your turn. No instant speed shenanigans. But like I was playing it and I was enjoying the time with it, enjoying the game. Repeated cards, synergies, and stuff that work on. And so I would like to think that this Lorcana game was teaching me a lesson. That other formats help keep yourself revitalizing the game, not bored with the format. Now I'm not bored with Commander, but like I think Wizards needs to start pushing for this diversity to be more, and I think they should. So you can always try One Piece Commander format. Whoop, whoop. Hey.
What's up, Gabby G?
Gabby G.
Hey, Gabby G.
Hold on. Kane Checker says, exactly, Ryan. My play group has been together a long time. We have always mixed up our formats, right? Well, see, the primary issue for me for trying different formats like that is I don't got the funds to do different formats all the time.
Right.
Now, I love seeing different formats. I got a whole box of Tark here, Like if I could, like honestly, if I had to say what I'd like to do, I'd like to build a deck out of the Tarkir block and play Tarkir Tarkir decks. Mujinfo, hello,
Jinville.
Mujinfo. What are you doing? It's not Wednesday.
I thought today, when I seen him and Jay, I was off. I thought today was Wednesday for us.
No, I said my daily One Piece come back and leave. um, but yeah, so yeah, I'd love to see more of a kick in the diversity of Magic to come back, especially when it comes to players. Now, I'm an old person. I'm an old person ways, but I'd like to see the younger people get more variant. Like I used to be um, variant in the community when I was younger. I used to play Commander, used to play Standard, used to play Limited. I even played a couple modern games, and I'd love to see more of the diversity. I love to see more content like that. I'd love to see people be more content like that. Some people say be the change you want to see in the world. I can't afford to be the change I want to see in the world, but I'd love to watch content and stuff based on.
Right.
I'm not talking with you. That means it's not Wednesday.
Oh. I like that. I can't afford to be the change I want to see in the world.
That's right.
I mean, I'm glad that there's been a change because I get to play standard. But just I can't afford the standard cards because it's still rotation through. I'm not 3-year rotation thing. Glad they went to that. However, on arena, it kind of hurts.
Right.
But still being able to play standard on on a digital form,
Right.
it's so good. It's good. I mean, it's great.
It's so good. So good. Bow, 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 bow. Sorry. An old song came in my head.
Oh yeah.
But like also, the collectible market of TCGs is crazy. And I think Wizard of the Coast has definitely got their thumb on the collectible market and they've been perfecting it for a couple years now and they're getting better at it. And like I think when they come out with promos, like one of the things they've been doing to push those promos is they've been making end-game store promos pretty good, tournament promos pretty good, and stuff like that. I just wish there'd be more advertisement, more of a push for it, for sure. K-Check says, we need some more players. Find, learn, and play the best format in Magic. That's right. Cube! That's right. The only problem with Cube is I can't play it online like here. I don't have a digital format to play Cube like that. I don't do MTGO to be able to do that. But yes, Cube is one of the best formats in the world. This is not the best format in the world. No, this is a tribute.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pioneer is still the best format. That's right. Everybody has an idea of what their best format is, right?
Right.
Limited is the best format to me. It's like it's not too expensive getting a limited. Like if you draft $15 a night, I mean not every night, but $15 every time you want to draft. Maybe it's $20 now, and you get 3 packs, and you build a deck out of those 3 packs amongst other packs that people bought into. That's a great format because the playing field's equal.
Well, you say that. I say standard. Everybody has, their formats that they like.
Cube will always keep the gathering in Magic. So will a lot of things. But yes, Cube is always a good gathering format. But
Yep.
sadly, when you live a life and you don't have many friends that hang around or come to your house to play Cube, it's hard to do. But Cube is still the best. The only people that can agree with that statement are only because they haven't tried it. That's right.
Yep.
What is cubed? I've never heard of that.
You never heard of Cube?
No, I have not.
Lord. Cane Checker, get after him. So, have you ever drafted before, Lone Wolf?
No, I have not.
All right, so let me explain draft to you before I do Cube. So, a draft is simply like this. You go to your local game store, you plop down $15 or $20 nowadays, and you get 3 packs of Magic cards. Now, 8 people are in a draft, right? And you open one pack, you take one card out of it that you want to play. Usually, people rare pick because rare is usually the bomb card, but there's other cards you can pick. You take the card you want out, and you pass the pack to your right or left, varying on which side it is, or which turn it is, or which pack it is. And then the person you get the pack from next, you pick a card out of there, keep it, pass that pack. And when you get the next pack, you pick a card out of there, and you keep doing this till the pack is gone. Then you get a new pack. You open a new pack, pick your card, and pass it the other way, and you do it till that pack is gone. And then the third pack, you do the same thing, and once you're done, you build a deck out of all your picks. And you get usually I have pre-sleeved draft things to take the store with me, but the basic lands you get usually the store provides, and you build this like deck, and your deck can be 23 cards, 17 lands, and you can build your deck higher than that, but I wouldn't suggest it. And you compete in a bracket system like you do, right? Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, so Cube is like that, but what it is Cube is you make your own set based off all the cards you love. You put in your favorite green cards, red cards, blue cards, white cards, and there's different ways to build cubes. You can have a 360 to 720, and you can build this card. And if in your case, if you built a cube, I'd start with a 360 because it's smaller, shorter, and easier to pick up. Then you shuffle it all together. Then your friends pull out 15 card packs, 3 of them. Then you draft the same way I explained to you. Then you build a deck, and you provide the lands.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
It's really fun. Drafting to me is one of the funnest formats to do. Cube is a way to do it because once you put the money into Cube, you don't have to put more money in the Cube. You don't have to pay money to draft all the time. You can just pull out the Cube and draft with your friends for free after that, and you can get your friends to help build the Cube too. MTG GameBob says Cube is okay. I prefer Commander Raids. Wait, you just gave me an idea. Commander Raids Cube. That Joker will be massive. That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Commander Cube. That could be a good idea. Commander Raids Cube. Commander Raids is kind of its own format, and it works. And you can make a cube, and you compete.
And make a cube, get your friends together, and teach them how to that knows how to draft, and just play Commander Raids with it.
Oh yeah,
not a bad idea.
Oh yeah, so. Cube is fun. Now, Cube cannot be a competitive format because it's limited is all casual, but you can Cube in tournaments when they host them just for prize spots. But drafting is the reason why drafting is tournament legal is because you actually keep the cards when you're done. People don't keep the cards from a cube; they put them back in the cube so you can cube again later. Drafting, you keep the cards you pick. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And hey. So there's a lot of different formats out there, and I wish Wizards would put an effort into making sure people knew that. And they always bring out a different format every other year or so. They're like, try this format. It's a new format. We support this format. It doesn't always last long. I mean, who plays Brawl still today? There are a few people who do, but not everybody does. Right. There are people who play Pioneer. There's people who play Popper. There's people who play Historic, And they got the good things going on.
Yep. Talking about cards. Today is the premiere of Age of Eternities, which also means spoiler season starts. So I'll be doing some spoilers today. A little shield before the shield.
Yeah. So the spoilers start around noonish our time.
Yep.
Yeah. Right after the show. Yeah. So It'll be crazy to get more people involved into these different formats. Because I think if you explore the diversity magic, you become a better teacher. Like limited. WotC just published Commander Draft rules. Still not a supported tournament format though. That's right.
Yep.
But if you ask me, if you want to learn, like the best way to learn to build commander decks is build draft decks, right? And if you know how to draft and you know how to make a good draft deck, and you learn all the process of drafting a deck, you make a good commander deck because it's all singleton. Well, in draft, like in regular draft, you can pull more than one card if it's in the packs, and you can have any amount of card if it's in your pack. So, like if you have 5 board wipes or 5 removal spells that are the same name, you can actually run them in your deck. Or a certain creature. Yeah. So I don't like to ignore your color commander identity. Yeah, that's weird.
That does sound weird.
But in draft, they do that. In draft formats, they do that because it's harder to stay in your own colors.
Yep.
It doesn't feel like commander that way. It doesn't, but limited's meant to be different.
Yep.
That's right. Plus, you can't do a singleton decks in draft. That isn't commander. That's right. But they do. Like in Cube, you can do it because you can control the singleton format there.
Right.
I think the best part about Magic is the diversity that they have to offer. I just wish they'd offer more diversity in their advertising. Try this format, try that format, do this, do that. Let's showcase it. Put some money into filming people playing these games. I love it when they do a good format tournament and it's enjoyable to watch. And draft is one of my favorite things to watch. Standard is fun to play. They're pushing standard again with the tournaments. Modern needs a little more light. Modern's gonna be broke, but Modern's gonna be broke by the time Edge of Eternities comes out. Holy cow!
Yep. Well, one thing that is happening in standard right now is rotation. Having a 3-year rotation start with the Edge of Eternities.
Mm-hmm. In Commander Draft, it is not a singleton format. That's right, which I actually like. Allows me to use copies you may have from a box from our Commander Raids box builds. Yeah. You can do that. You can do it. Yes. Good morning, TCG dude.
Good morning.
Good morning.
TCG dude.
Good morning, TCG dude. Give me a sleeve. Glad I haven't been Commander pot pilled yet. That's right. Well, because let's look at the economy of Commander right now. Not like the legitimate money-making economy, but the economy we have of people. Almost everything we watch nowadays about Magic Gathering seems to be Commander-based because it's the main format right now.
Yep.
See standard deck text again, that'd be cool. See draft tips again, that'd be cool.
Yep.
Wizards only care about formats that make money. That's why we didn't get any RCQs or RCs for the Pioneer. Oh yeah, it's true. Mm-hmm. True. So the rotation cycles currently I find problematic. They are too long. 3 years for normal sets and 5 years for foundations. Only too long and complicated. It is too long and complicated. Yep. It is irritating, because I was trying to design a couple standard decks for Hillbilly, and I didn't know how to even look for all the standard cards I wanted.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the best way, the easiest way I find to make standard decks, you pretty much have to have a guide nowadays to see what cards are legal and standard, which ones are not.
Right.
And the easiest way for me, if I was going to make a paper standard deck, the easiest way for me to do that is to have something like Arena.
Right. Wizards of the Coast should, for each format that they can, especially standard, and a focus on standard, is make a website that updates daily, even if there's no change to the list, that organizes and lets you know what cards are in standard.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to build a standard deck, you can look through all the green cards and red cards and blue cards and stuff, and based off the deck you want to run, and all the multicolor cards. It'd be a long venture to build a deck out of that, but it'd be interesting to have that ability to understand what is standard and know what's playable.
Mm-hmm.
They even put like a little timer thing on it, like know what's going to rotate sooner or not.
Right.
Because every time I looked up standard decks from trying to build decks, there would be cards in the deck that are no longer standard.
Yep.
So it has not even been a full year since Foundations came out. Wait for another 3 years or so to see the Ugin list. That's right.
Yep.
So I don't find the number of years a problem. It's just another thing that players need and will get used to. Yeah, they will get used to it.
Yeah.
But like it's hard to get used to because
Yep.
like when you're in school and you're trying to read how when you're in school back in the day, your math teacher gave you a math book, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you had to learn the math and you had to learn from the pages. By the time you're done, you don't remember everything. You remember a lot, but you don't remember everything.
Right.
So you had to keep the book so you can go back to learn the stuff, because Magic is like a math book. It's full of problems.
Yep. But I can understand why they went to 3-year rotation. Do I agree with it? No. And I also do agree with it because I understood, me being a standard player, 2-year rotation. As soon as you buy the cards, boom, no longer standard legal.
Mm-hmm.
And so that means I have to fork out more money just to make the deck standard legal.
Right.
By the time I do that, boom, another rotation. I have to replace the previous cards that didn't rotate out. I got to replace them with new cards, and it makes it kind of hard to play.
But you're ignoring the obvious problem in the room.
Yep.
The obvious problem is not rotation. Right? Now, rotation's an issue because when rotation happens, you have to format your decks to be different. But you got standard sets coming out every 2 months, and if you get a card that needs to go in your deck, you have to upgrade it anyways.
Right.
No matter what, you're upgrading your deck to fit the primary thing because one set comes out can make your whole deck obsolete, rotation or not.
True.
And Wizards is notorious for doing that.
Yep. And that's one reason, but that's why they went 3-year rotation. I can understand that. No.
3-year rotation was only to make it cheaper. The issue is with that is power creep will rotate your cards anyways. That's right.
Oh yeah, true.
I believe this is why they made other formats like Modern and Pioneer. Standard should be much shorter, but should make fewer sets per year for Standard. That's right. That's why they did make Modern. That's why they did make Legacy. That's why they did make Pioneer and Historic. People can play cards that are older. Standard is supposed to be more competitive and fluent to sell more products. And believe it or not, with 3-year rotation, that makes less product for people to buy.
Yeah, but not everybody plays all these other formats. They only want one format, and they stay in that format. They don't venture off from these other formats.
Kenny Checker says, but doesn't the longer time allow for your investment in packs and cards to be viable for longer? Right. Yep. That's the irony in it, right? Mm-hmm. Like you want to buy cards and you want to be able to play with them for a good amount of time,
right?
But another problem is like if you got a shock and they reprint Lightning Bolt, you're going to buy the new Lightning Bolt to put in to replace those shocks, because shock deals 2 damage and Lightning Bolt deals 3, especially in a Paralysis deck. They're always going to do something to push the decks and push the power creep in a different way. And they kind of cycle through colors throughout sets. So one set helps one deck more than the other. That's kind of how it seems to go. So they get the time to shine and they get to do that. Now, that's a generalization. That's not always true, but it's true for the most part.
Right.
Mm. So yeah, it's crazy. Yep. Yeah, 6 sets per year is insane. 18 sets in the Standard at its peak isn't cool. That's just a lot for Standard.
Mm-hmm.
like a 3 year standard format is modern light. It's like a modern format, but 3 years to do it. You know, I can checker. Is that the purpose for other formats? They left if they felt that they needed a longer format than standard, but shorter than Pioneer. Should have created that format. It could have been. Could have been.
Yeah.
You know, but like one of the things is like what if they made a commander set that was only viable for the last 3 years? You know, what if they started formatting commander like that? That'd be an issue.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes they go 2 years with green being garbage and standard before they address it. That's right. Sometimes they do ignore clear color theory. The 3 year format makes the level of entry harder for newer players. Newer players need to invest in 3 years old set, higher barrier to entry. I think Commander should have multiple formats, right? It says Pioneer Commander, here we come. That's right. You know, what it like that's a thing. And that could be a possibility. And I really think that's another thing where I think Commander needs to step back. I think step back, take the back seat for a bit is anything I think Commander needs to look at before they push it into tournament standards. Because 1v1 Commander, which is what they're looking for to do for tournaments, it's a lot different than 4v4, you know?
Yeah.
You know, because 1v1 is more based on what you call it? CEDH, competitive commander.
Mm-hmm.
And 4v4 is more based on a casual commander.
Yep.
So yeah, modern commander would get some traction for sure. Boy,
I wouldn't doubt it. It probably would.
you know, one of the things I kind of miss. I don't know if it's because they don't sell well. Is the reprint sets like Modern Masters, right? Modern Masters. Get an Eternal Masters. That would be nice to get back. You know, actual for the formats more than just Commander. Because when they do a master set, and then people are like, "This is just Commander set 2.0," and you're like, "Oh gosh," but every time they come out with something like Modern Horizons 3, they break the format. That might be why Foundations is being made. It will keep cards in rotation longer and meant to keep those singles prices lower, possibly. But the weird thing about Foundations, it's the longest format and standard. Standard rotates in 3 years.
Yep. Foundation's 5 and standard is 3.
Yeah. I think Foundations should match. And should match because it should be come on, bring back the core set, everybody. Bring back the core set. Every year and a year and a half, you get a new core set out. That's when rotation starts. Every 2 years, bring out the core set, restart. Something in that vein. Foundation should be 3 years long. Every time a foundation comes, rotation. So rather have 2-year standard with 5-year foundations. Huh? Yeah. Interesting thought. Indeed. Indubitably interesting thought. And, it's a lot to take in.
Right.
Because no matter what we talk about, we're not going to fix a problem,
Exactly.
But indubitably, we're just dancing turtles. So. So I prefer Foundations. Click. I prefer Foundations that keep reprinting the same cards each core set. Anyways, that's right. Well, I'm saying, Foundations is the new core set. That's why I'm saying, do the core set. It's I think this should match it up.
Right. I agree there.
And I wish there was I wish they would make a website where you can follow the standard cards.
That would be
Commander.
Yeah, I mean that would be a great website and moneymaker if they did do that. I believe.
I've been playing since '94. I guess I'm one of those weird players out there. What do you mean weird players? Like you like rotation being 3 and 5 years, and that's what you like? I don't know, and it's not weird to like what you want to like.
True.
To be honest, I mean, if you like it, there's no complaints for you. You know, card sets were fun. They did have unique cards in the set, even if they weren't always good. That's right. So actually, F it all. How 1 year standard, 5 year foundation. That's right.
Ooh, wow. I
That'd be
think
too
that
much.
would really hurt standard,
Mm,
especially since they're trying to, work on standard and revitalize it.
right, because we got enough formats in the world for standard. Like, no matter what they do, because you got historic, you got brawl, you got pioneer, you got all these formats to give you your length of years to use. You even got popper. People love to play. You know,
Mm-hmm.
people love to do their things. So I'm okay with the changes. It's nothing new in the game of Magic. No, Magic's always changing. That's
True.
the truth about it.
True.
That's the truth about it for sure. Magic's always changing. Commander is the one thing that's been most stable. Other than they produce Commander cards like crazy every year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm okay with the changes too, but it does. Um, I mean, the game is changing,
But
but
to be honest with you, I'm more favor of eternal formats more than I am standard.
mm-hmm.
I like to see standard played. I like eternal formats because it's kind of like Commander. Every time a set comes out, you're always looking for the next broken card. Cane Checker says, I've been around for all the changes all around. Changes of magic is the sound. Changes all around. I don't know if that song resonated with you, but it did. Yes, magic's always changing for the worse or for the better. I
I
wouldn't say
think
always
it's
for the worse.
yeah, I think it's they're changing for the better.
Like a lot of people don't like change. That's salty on people's tongues a lot. Like, oh, change. I mean, Magic's dying because Mana Burn's being taken out. Magic is dying because they're changing the legendary rule. Magic is dying because of this. Magic is dying because of that. Magic is not dying. They're always trying something different because really it's about the success of the game, and it's the most successful game to date for a card game. It's the first trading card game to come out and the longest lasting card game to come out.
Right. Exactly.
MTG since 2019 has been getting worse each year. No, it's doing different because they have to make new ideas, and like I don't know if they're running out of ideas or if they're trying different things, but they're always doing different things.
Yep.
Turn and face the change. That's right.
Yeah. Sometimes I do think they are running out of ideas, especially since they brought universes beyond into standard. It does give me an idea that they're out of ideas.
Well, like that's a valid opinion to have.
Yep.
The truth is that it just gives them different ideas to work with and gives them like if you're in the world of being creative, sometimes it's hard to be creative when you have all the tools in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you're more creative when you're limited on the tools you have. And I think going to IPs kind of brings that sandbox in where you're limited to the tools you have, so you make the best of it.
Yep. And not only that, it's you're creative and everything. You've done this, you've done that, you've done this, you've done that. Time to do something new. What's there left to do? And that's myself is why I think they brought University Beyond. But
Right.
this is just my opinion about it, though.
Right. Since Fire Design 2019. Whoop, whoop. So I think the game has gotten better and different in that time, Kebby. That's what Kane Checker says. And yeah, like I don't like I'm not gonna agree with everything that Magic does, right?
Right.
I'm not a fan of vehicles. I like StarCraft ideas a little bit better, but I'm not a fan of StarCraft either. I'm definitely not a fan of battles. I don't like battles. You know,
I do. Yeah, I do. I love battles.
right? And that's cool. You can,
Yep.
but like those things didn't make it the game for the worse.
No.
Like me and Kibble played against decks with vehicles and
Yep.
battles, and people use them and find ways to use them and play with them, and it doesn't kill the game. It's just a different way of thinking. And some people don't like different ways of thinking because that's like accepting change, right?
Exactly.
So, yeah. To Bolt's Apprentice. Hi, guys. It's up to us to play the game we want to play. That's right.
Yep.
Battles make sense in the concept of MTG. Yeah, it makes sense. Like, like you got here's my problem with battles. Right. First of all, they're just basically a sorcery on an enchantment body, basically, even though they're not enchantments.
Mm-hmm.
You come to play, they get an ETB trigger, which is fine. Now I got two options. I can attack my opponent to win the game more, or I can attack the battle to get something different.
Right.
I'd rather attack my opponent than the battle, and that's what I don't like about them. But look, it's not going to kill me there. Whoa, hold on. There's room for all, but I do understand not liking much of WotC's choices, right?
Mm-hmm.
WotC makes their own choices for sure. But WotC has a lot on their plate that we don't even think about. That not only they're creating Magic, they're working with D&D, they're working with other games, other card games. They're working more than what we think. We think of Magic and we just think singular. When they're working in the company, they're working multiticular, if that's even a word. So
if it's not, it's coined now. Multiticular.
Right. Right? Can we all just get along? That's right. Can all get along. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And enjoy your coffee.
Yep. I would, but I done drank mine. Now I'm stuck on water. Second best thing.
Water can be put through a coffee filter either way. Look at KJ. He's proven that.
Yeah, but
Indeed.
water is just, second best compared to coffee.
Right. Let's go. Let's go. So what do you guys think about this idea that we talked about? I mean, chat's been really amazing today with the concept and idea. I mean, it's like, should Commander take a back seat from Wizards for a bit to, let it cool down and push other formats, or do you think Commander is just fine?
Personally, I think I don't think that it should be a step back as a game format that a lot of people play. I think if Wizards were to step back and pay less attention to it or more attention, especially now that they've announced that it's like Commander is going to be an official format now. I think that if they start stepping back now, it'll make people kind of question the actions of Wizards of the Coast.
Right.
I mean, they just started focusing attention there.
Mm-hmm. And thinking of questionable choices and questionable actions,
hit that subscribe button. Become a part of the creep.
Too much to take. So it's lit. MTG3, are you game? Rise, creep, rise, building a following as we game. Spitting fire like a dragon, no one can bring us down. MTG3 in the house, we own this town. Ripping through the beats with a fury.
Heyo, everybody, it's time for the shill section, thrill section, the shill section. Whoop, whoop.
Now, it don't seem like it's been no hours since we started.
That's a little earlier, but I got a big dinner to make today.
No.
I mean, card games only have one or two formats. MTG having way too much is a bad thing. Yeah, it depends.
Yeah.
Yes, pushes people to their limit break. All right. Hey, there's still 10 minutes. Well, I got to make some good dinner tonight.
No.
Make some good dinner tonight. Yeah. But hey,
McDonald's?
no. I gotta make corn, mac and cheese, brats. Like corn on the cob.
Ah.
Good corn. I'm thinking of good corn. We're thinking of Lone Wolf. No, I just got here. That's right. With Lone Wolf. Lone Wolf, say what you have to say.
All right. I do got one other thing besides showing out you guys. I hopefully it's okay I say this. Just prayers and thoughts for all the people and families affected by the flooding this past week since I believe it was the 4th of July.
Oh,
There
yeah.
were
Texas.
somewhere down in Texas, and supposedly there's over 100 deaths and counting. I just wanted to say that really quick, and then of course follow and like and watch KJ Hillbilly and Tortoise.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. But yes, thoughts and prayers for sure for the people in Texas.
Yep. I think it's been over like 120 some odd people that have passed away down there in Texas.
That's not good. That's not good. All right, we got KJ Cowboy Dan.
Hey, howdy, hey, boys and girls. KJ Cowboy Dan here. Tonight, it's Tuesday. I'm going to be hanging out with Scuba Chew. We are going to play with a little AI stuff, probably make some AI music. We're also going to pull out one of our AI image generators. And Scoob and I had made some jank AI animations that we're going to show everybody tonight. So join Scoob and I on our channels, YouTube and Twitch tonight, roughly about 7 o'clock.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Check him out. Check him out. Check him out. And go to Hillbilly.
Tuesday is finally here. That means this afternoon I will be doing viewer battles. So if you want to play a game of Standard against me on Arena, feel free to come on by the channel. And it's also Commander Night over on my channel. So tonight at 7 o'clock, there will be a Commander game. And if you're interested in the Commander game, make sure you're a part of my Discord or Tortoise's Discord. Give us a holler. And we'll say you seat at the Commander table if you want to play.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Sounds good. Play some Commander. Whoa, whoa. Super Fast Tortoise here. And tonight, I might go live before the Commander game, have a little deck listing thing so I can list this Mummer Vig deck. Whoa, whoa. Get the correct power levels and thing. It's a level 2, I guarantee it, but it'll be fun to see what the website says about the deck when I upload it. So we'll check that out later. But with that, I want to thank you everybody for being here. Everybody on the show, thank you Hillbilly, KJ, Cowboy Dan, and Lone Wolf for being here, and everybody in chat. You rock, you roll. I want to thank the channel members for being what you are and helping the channel financially the way you do it. And all the subscribers out there who are helping the channel grow, you rock, you roll too. Everything you do helps the channel to grow, and that's what we want. With that, I want to remind you that you are loved. Someone's thinking about you. And if you can, say and or do something positive for someone else. You might be the change you need today. And with that, we're going to hit the sweet, sweet outro.
Start the morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me. Good morning, welcome to the morning coffee show. Let's talk from in the shell and share good vibes and good times. Friends and friends have been the senses. Let's get a bit senseless. Welcome to the morning coffee show, where we bring good vibes and good times. Welcome to the morning